Welcome back to the Aimmee Kodachian and the Expert Show, where our guests share with you their experience, knowledge, and wisdom to help you see your life in a whole different perspective. I am your host, Aimmee Kodachian,
not Kardashian. And I'm your guest co-host, Stephanie Thompson. I'm a classically trained singer-songwriter, actress, vocal coach, and the TV show host of Stephanie's Movie Reviews. Well, this is the fourth segment of 4 segments, and in this episode, we've been talking with 2 wonderful guests, Nicky Pattinson and Judy Morio, who is also the TV host of World of Book Reviews, which is going to open in November. And you can go to akexpertstv.com and watch all of us.
That's right. That's right. 3 powerful women here.
That's
we have
right.
shows. Hopefully, I'm saying I'm powerful too.
Well, we know how powerful you are.
Thank
we
you.
do.
I appreciate that. I'm so humbled to have you guys, and thank you for coming all the way from England
You're
to
very
share
welcome.
with us your wisdom.
Oh,
I'm
thank
really
you.
enjoying the show. Now it's like, okay, I don't want the show to end.
We'll just stay here.
Right
Ever.
here, right? And then having Judy with us is always
Thank you.
delightful.
Thank
and
you.
Stephanie being the co-host, hey, don't go anywhere. But I think we want to give you all the time because you're not in Vegas here to bring you back any minute. So I want you to share with us what we were talking about. Oh, by the way, if you're watching on social media, go to akexpertstv.com to watch all of the segments we recorded with the lovely Nicky and other segments we have. If you're live with us right now, beautiful. Thank you for staying with us. So please continue helping us how to communicate effectively and all that good stuff.
Well, in the break, we were just talking about how difficult it is for younger people these days because we grew up in an environment where you had to go and tell the world who you are. You had to go and express yourself. A lot of young people these days...
Well, Stephanie, she's pretty young, so...
They can Facebook, they can tweet, they
Yeah.
can text, and you can be anything on Facebook because you are creating an image and you've got time to consider the words that you put down there.
Absolutely.
Very different when you go just walk up to people and talk to them. Very, very different. So I think that maybe this generation finds it much more difficult than we did. And you'd had a particular
Yes,
experience,
yes.
hadn't you, Judy?
Yes, I was speaking to a freshman class at a university just last week, as a matter of fact, and sitting in the hallway waiting for them to come to class. And I was just sitting out there signing books, and as they walked by, I just started looking to see if any of them would look at me or would smile at me or would speak to me. And they all went to class. I think there was one boy that smiled at me, and there was a girl that actually sat down next to me, but she had earphones in, and she never even looked up at me throughout the whole time. So when I spoke to the class that day, I mentioned it to them, and I said, you know, if you want to be successful, you have to connect with people. I said, didn't you notice I was out there and that I don't fit, I don't belong at this university? Weren't you even curious to ask? And they were like, no, they were totally into their texting. And after it was over, one young lady came up to me and she said, I just want you to know I was the one that sat next to you, and I apologize and thank you. You've taught me a very valuable lesson.
It's very different. And I'm going to confirm what you were saying. I have a lady on my Facebook. I'm not going to give any names, but she writes beautifully. It's like whatever she writes something, I'm not a reader, but I like to read her writing. It's very clear, very nice, and you could just, she drags you in her writing. But when you meet her, when I met her in person, it was a totally different person that I was expecting. Her communication in person is totally different.
But it's not always people's fault because
Yeah.
we are told what to say a lot of the time. So because we don't have much time, let's take one sector.
Okay.
Let's take, say, retail. And I ask people to just pull out and tear up all the trans words and phrases. Trans words and phrases are when we've heard something more than 3 times and it just doesn't go into your consciousness. It goes over your head. Not only do you delete the words, you actually delete the person saying them. So let's go to retail. And,
Okay.
you know, I think it's quite similar in the US as it is in the UK, that people are told on day one, the magic phrase is, are you all right there? Can I help you? And what do you all say?
No,
No
thank
thanks.
you.
I'm not kidding. You do that to one young girl or boy more than 10 times, You have that happen and they begin to think that it's them. It's not. It's the trans phrases that just aren't getting through. So I teach people in retail, just to give you the quick answer, to just walk up and start a conversation halfway through. So if there was the coffee pot there and I'd just walk up to you, clearly I'd mix it with the body language and a little bit of tone, I'd drop my voice and I'd say something like, there is nothing like an 11 o'clock coffee. Nothing. You're straight in, because people are disarmed, and the dropping of the voice, we can't tell the difference again when people, so I'm alluding to the fact that every day at 11 o'clock I like a coffee. You don't have to tell people the colour of your pants. You're telling something personal about you that creates a picture of you with the dropping of the voice. When you speak to people with a dropped voice, they're usually a really, really good friend, and your subconscious doesn't know the difference. Boom, you're in. It only works if you mean it, though. This is not to manipulate people.
That's what we were talking about in the break. We were saying this is not to manipulate people, but to let people really get to know you and care about you the way you want to care about them. It's about communication. It's about a relationship to meet, or a customer that you really want to sell them something. It's good for them to have.
Well, it's
because selling doesn't mean it's bad. Selling is a very good thing. The world goes around selling.
Hey,
I mean, sometimes
absolutely.
if we don't get sold on things that is good for us, you're stealing away. You're taking away really what's good for the customer if you don't know how to approach it. So
selling saved my life. These skills saved. I would be in the gutter if I hadn't have learned what I have learned. Selling saved my life. And many other people, many other single parents that are sat there now wondering how the hell they're going to pay the gas bill. All we're doing, it's not even selling, it's telling the world who you are. How can we love somebody or connect with somebody or like somebody if we don't know who you are, if you're not saying the words and creating the form that has people anchor themselves to you? And that's what it's all about.
Yes. So let's go back we were talking about something about selling. Do you want to use this technique? If it's fake, people feel it. Don't try it. Don't try to do it for a fake. Even though some people play around and do it for the wrong reason. We're not talking about that. We're talking if you're really connecting with the other person, you're really serving them.
Right.
If I'm going to give you my book, and then my book is going to inspire you, I'm serving you. So therefore, it's a good thing to do, right?
Well, how you tell the world who you are is how you negotiate your way through life.
Yes.
And it is your life. We met quite by chance, didn't we, about 6 years ago.
Right.
We knew that we'd be friends, but if we hadn't have had the skill just to pick up, I wouldn't be sat here now.
Absolutely.
And that's how the world works these days, my friend. You've got all the social media on the planet, but if you can't just walk up to somebody and strike up a conversation, you don't have the life.
It's so nice to have you with us. I would
It's
love
so
to have
lovely
you
to
again.
be here.
Well, next time we'll have a private jet to go and pick you
Oh,
up. How's
yes.
that sound?
I'll use my own. I'll use my own. My own. Sorry, talk posh. You're in America.
Okay, so give them your website before we go, because we have only a few seconds.
It's Nicky, Nicky, Pattinson, Pattinson, like Robert, but without the millions. And email me, Nicky@NickyPattinson.com. I'd love to talk to you.
You see, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank
for
you.
being
It's
here.
been brilliant. I don't want it to end.
And then Stephanie, thank you again for co-hosting.
It was my
I
pleasure.
appreciate that. And Judy, as usual, I appreciate
Thank
you all
you.
the time
It's always
being
a
here.
pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you with us, and really honored to have you on the show all the time. Thank you. So, and thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time on the Aimmee Kodachian and the Expert Show. Have a good day.